Hello YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives, and I have the Victorinox Executive. Yes, one of the lesser known Victorinox Swiss Army knife models. A very interesting Swiss Army knife model. Now, one thing you might not realize if you've just seen this like on Amazon, for example, this is a 3-inch length Swiss Army knife, which is actually pretty rare. That is the Executive right there, 3 inches. Yeah, because it can be a little confusing, identifying all the different size categories that Victorinox uses in its production. Basically, the small one, the really small ones, are 2 1/4 inches, 3 inches, 3 1/4. That's the Cadet. All right, this is the Compact, and most of your typical average Victorinox are 3 1/2 inches, so that's 3.5. And then they have stuff like the Farmer, slightly longer, right? And then they have their Outdoor series, which is longer still. All right, so yeah, this category right here, the 3-inch knives, actually very rare. Not many models in that size. As far as the tool set of the Executive, we have the mini scissors, right? And we have a nail file. I assume it's a nail file, but it's actually basically textured just like a normal file, right? This part here, which is a nail cleaner, you've got the standard toothpick and tweezers in the scales. And then you've got 3 blades on this side. And the 3 blades they give you are basically a longer blade, a shorter blade, and this very interesting blade, which I think they consider an orange peeler, right? I actually consider this, I would categorize it as a scalpel. It's fully serrated, focus, extremely sharp, right? And yeah, I mean, you could basically use it as a scalpel. It even has a finger rest here for the scalpel grip, right? So it's like an orange peeler, fully serrated mini scalpel. Interesting. Also has a lanyard hole and key ring. As for that rather odd tool set on the Executive, I do have to say it's not the most efficient tool set. I do think it's kind of a miss if you are going for sheer efficiency and usefulness, because the smaller knives, like for example this SD, if you want scissors, the SD will give them to you. If you want a nail file, it's on the SD. If you want tweezers and toothpick, again, the SD already has that. So it's kind of like, why would you carry the Executive instead of just like an SD or one of the other 2 1/4 inchers? No real reason except if you think it's cool, I would say. I mean, what does this offer that the smaller ones don't? Well, I mean, the scissors are a little bit larger. All right, so the scissor has a little more reach. The main blade is a little bit longer, but it's still small. They kind of waste a slot on this shorter blade. I mean, I think at least they should put in like a Wharncliffe style blade for the second plane edge. And the fully serrated scalpel / orange peeler blade, to me that's not, it's not hugely important. Yeah, the tool set really, when you compare it to other stuff, the tool set just falls a bit short. This is a Leatherman style. It's exactly the same overall length, but I would almost always go with the style. Even the Leatherman Squirt and the Victorinox Mini Champ, I think, offer more capability for smaller size. And remember, the Cadet, it's only 1/4 inch longer, and because of the A-locks, it's actually thinner. But consider the blades you get. Hold on. The biggest blade on that versus how much more blade you get. And this is only 1/4 inch longer, So yeah, I mean, when you compare it to a lot of other items, just not that efficient to me. As far as the term executive, you know, one thing I've learned is you can't take the names of Swiss Army knives too literally. You know, I don't think they really, I just think they needed to name it something, so they chose that. I suppose the scissors are relevant in an office setting, and I guess the nail file, you know, if you're shaking a lot of hands, you're an executive, I guess the nail file and cleaner is important. But really, there's nothing too special about this that would make it especially useful for an executive. So yeah, I love the size category. I just don't really like the tool set. In my perfect world, Victorinox would make more 3-inch models, and they would put the thin and awesome Alox scales, and they would you know, they would rethink the tool set. And you know, if they did that, which I'm not holding my breath, but if they did that, I'd probably buy every one of those models. All right, this has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.